Hi everyone. Today is the launching of our new podcast, Cultivating a New Generation. This podcast is encompassed of the 5 pillars of your inner health, which are nutrition, metabolism and exercise, your emotional resilience, consciousness, and abundance. So I'm going to introduce the first 3 pillars. I am David Ortega, and the other 2 pillars are going to be introduced by Mia, my partner. So, to begin with the third pillar of emotions, what are we going to go in that pillar? What are we going to do in that pillar? We are going to go deep in the science of understanding your regulation of your emotions. What is happening when you feel that emotion? Where does it come from? What is the message? What is the meaning? How to understand your story and how to get the lessons from your map, from your guiding GPS, which are your emotions. Next, we are going to go to the fourth pillar, which is your consciousness, being more aware of the moment, of your thoughts, of the things that are producing those thoughts, of your perception, how to become more able to harness the power of your perception and understanding that living in the now is the most powerful thing that you can do, and understand from there that the past is gone, you can change it. So there's no purpose to go there, just to understand the lessons or the future, which might be an anxious thing for you. So if you don't focus in the present, you don't create the future. The idea is to start being more conscious about those facts. Finally, if you master the 4 pillars, you are going to get to the abundance realm, which is composed of abundance of understanding your eating patterns and what it happens inside of you, your metabolism, the knowledge of your inner freeways, and the knowledge of your rhythms, your energy, and everything within you that is encompassing your physiology. Next, we are going to have abundance of your emotions. How do you want to foster the positive emotions, and how do you want to learn and be able to feel the negative ones and get the message from them? Finally, if you master all those abundance of these 3 pillars, you will get to the consciousness abundance, which is being more wise, being more in the present moment, living more the things that are happening in your life, and being open to master your perception, to get to the abundance of wealth, because that is going to be just the consequence of having abundance in the other 4 pillars. So that's the idea, to get a full picture, to grow from the bottom to the top, and to start going within. To present the other next 2 pillars, I'm going to give the word to Mia.
Thank you, David. Hi, guys. Welcome to the new podcast, Cultivating a New Generation. In this podcast, we will teach you how to have a happy, healthy, and abundant life. We will be talking about nutrition, exercise, and metabolism. We don't believe in diets. We believe in conscious eating and exercise because you love your body, and aligning a conscious eating with a healthy exercise, or the exercise that is right for you. You will understand the natural rhythm of your metabolism. So this is one of the things that you will learn in this amazing podcast, and you will have fun and you will learn, and this is amazing.
Thank you, Mia. So we will
Thank
be
you.
waiting for you in our first episode, which is right about now. Thank you, and have an amazing and wonderful day. Welcome, everyone, to our podcast chapter or episode number 1, Cultivating a New Generation. Today, we are going to talk about the COVID-19 experience related to 2 of the pillars of wellness and your inner health, which are nutrition and exercise and metabolism. So we are going to discuss what has been the effects that we have seen in many of the people related to the eating patterns. What kind of foods are not making you or triggering you in terms of your emotional aspects, and how can you empower your immunity with these kinds of foods or nutrients? So to start the topic, I think that the experience that we are um, having right now in our lives in terms of this lockdown that has been extended widely and worldwide has been giving us lessons each day, because we are being facing, of course, problems with anxiety, isolation, desperation, and all of those emotions or states that we are living now, of course, that have an impact in the type of food that we are going to crave, because the neurotransmitters that we release under those emotions, under those states, are going to make you crave more sugary foods, more processed foods, which is the sweet spot that the industry is looking for. So it is not also a mistake that we are being depicted so much fearful images, so much news, so much contradictions and incongruencies that we are seeing in terms of health and the recommendations that many streams of health and news are giving, because all of those news and streams and social media interactions that we are having are making us more reactive. So by making us more reactive to any kind of things that are happening outside, we are being driven to those kinds of foods, which are sugars and processed fats. Why? Because all of those foods give you a sensation, an immediate sensation of pleasure, and they start lowering the type of neurotransmitters that you are now having in excess due to these fearful states. But what is happening when you consume those foods, when you are craving more, and probably you will agree with me that in the night or in the afternoons, it's the peak time that you are craving those types of foods. The same thing happens because the hormonal balance and the neurotransmitters released in that time of the day is making you crave those things more. When we engage in those eating behaviors of sugary and processed foods and at night or in the afternoon, late in the afternoon, we are disrupting our metabolism. We are disrupting everything that is happening in terms of the hormones that we need to sleep better, to have a restful sleep. So, what is it doing? If I crave or I eat ice cream or muffin or cookies or any kind of sugary food that I crave, I eat it in the afternoon, and in the morning, what is going to happen? First, I won't have a restful night. Then my body is not going to be repaired, and all of my substances, my internal substances, are going to be disrupted. Many of the hormones, such as insulin, leptin, which control your hunger signals, will be lower, and you will have higher levels of cortisol, and you will be in a bad mood. You will have probably reactive experiences, and you will repeat the cycle again and again. That's what we are seeing. And if we keep repeating this cycle for 4 months, 5 months that we have been under lockdown, of course, that is going to be reflected in your weight. And of course, that is going to be reflected in your immunity, because inflammation is lowering your immunity. So more um, you will be more in a threat with the virus if you are being in these kind of cycles. The other side of the coin is to start being aware of the type of things that you are craving and control the kind of signals that you are receiving from your body, because you can eat some kind of healthy sugars instead of craving the toxic ones. What kind of foods can you eat to lower that anxiety, to lower that craving needs? You can start consuming dark chocolate, for example. That's one. You can drink 1 cup of wine. Red wine is good, but just 1 cup at night and not very close to the hour that you are going to sleep, at least 2 or 3 hours before. And you can engage in eating green vegetables. Green vegetables are rich in many nutrients, minerals that are going to give you antioxidant capacities. They are going to give you regulation in your neurotransmitters, and they will give you high quantities of calcium, zinc, copper that are essential to maintain your mental health and to lower the anxiety and the hormones and all of those cycles. That's the idea of giving you these kind of experiences, because we all suffer from that. We are also being triggered by those hormones and those signals, and all of this state is making us craving those types of foods. But we can avoid that, and we can break the cycles. What do you think, Mia, about that? What is your experience?
Well, hi friends. What I seen is like two patterns with the COVID-19. What people is being doing either with this lockdown, either they more conscious started a new habits and started eating like more healthy. And the other side of the coin, the other pattern is like just like a little field trips from the dining room or the living room to the refrigerator. And they open the refrigerator, and even they are not hungry, it's just this anxiety of like doing something, feeling that, okay, I'm not doing anything, so I need to do something. And just like by walking to the refrigerator, it's just like it's a pattern, is like a bad habit that you don't know that you are developing, but you are developing a bad habit. So also, when people is in a healthy lifestyle and eating fruits and vegetables and salads and like more healthier, but if they don't exercise, all these beautiful and delicious foods like fruits, vegetables, salads, or plant-based foods, but if they don't exercise, so it's not healthy, because everything needs to be aligned and balanced. And same thing with people, like they keep eating and eating and eating, and these field trips to their refrigerator, little trips to their refrigerator. I mean, if they don't exercise, is gonna lead to another issue that is gonna be like a chronic disease, diabetes. So all these little patterns, I really and highly recommend the people to listen to themselves. Like, okay, why I'm going to the refrigerator if I just ate like an hour ago or like 2 hours ago? So before you go into a trip to the kitchen, just drink water before you open the refrigerator, or you know that you just had breakfast or had lunch or had dinner, and you feel this craving of like eating or something, or just open the refrigerator, just go to the water, just get a glass of water first, because sometimes it could be like a misunderstanding from our body. Instead of like, okay, I'm hungry, maybe your body's trying to say, I'm thirsty. Pay attention of how much water do you drink a day, daily, because you could be like, it could be a dehydration and you just want to keep eating. So it is important to always drink water first. And just also, I recommend to ask this question: if this apple or this brownie or this piece of cake or this banana or whatever it is this gonna help me or is gonna hurt me? So if this apple or this banana or this piece of cake is gonna hurt you, so why you eat it? If it's gonna help you, so go ahead. You can have a little piece of fruit or something, and always drink water.
Yes. And it's good that you mentioned that about the questioning part of the story, because when we question ourselves, when we start listening to our bodies, we start making contact with a skill that we all have that is called interoception. And interoception is listening to your body signals, questioning what is happening inside of you, taking more an active role in the type of actions that you are performing, and also seeing those thoughts, those signals as a message, as a message that comes from another thing, that comes from another state, that is not probably related to anything that can be satisfied with food. Plus, what you mentioned about exercise is extremely important, because we know that exercise is the best tool, the best medicine for your body, and it completely arranges and controls all of the processes, metabolic processes and mental processes that we have within us. So if we exercise, and that doesn't mean that you have to go 2 hours to the gym, or that doesn't mean that you have to do a video of 1 hour and a half and start sweating and start fainting of the exercise that you are doing. It's just about being mindful of getting out a little bit with your mouth covered and just walk outside. Just make contact with nature. Just engage with your pets. Just do something that triggers those kind of substances, which are dopamines and endorphins and BDNF, which is another factor that starts triggering your brain and creating new connections. And all of those simple actions that we can do are going to start lowering the anxiety levels and boosting your immune system. Then you will have the other side of the coin that Mia also mentioned, that there are many people that are now being engaged and being more aware of that part of their body and their active role into empowering themselves. Because I also practice a lot of exercise and I also like to go out and run, and I have seen a very, very nice picture of many people that now are running outside. They are doing exercise because they are concerned about their health. Finally, the coins are entering in their brains and they are seeing that what they can do is start creating healthier habits, not just reacting to the information that we are receiving, not just letting the external signals and environment and talks and everything that you are in contact with to drive you to certain kind of behaviors. So the idea is that we create a more empowered version. And that probably, I think, is the most important message of this virus: to empower ourselves, to see inside, to go within, to start seeing the messages that we are receiving from here and not from the external sources.
Remember, always listen to your body. Guys, always don't ignore anything, because you probably think that is nothing. Like if you have a slight headache or like a random neck pain or something, don't ignore anything, because eventually, right now, like a slight headache could be dehydration, and you ignore that, and then you start eating. And also, when you mention about the exercise, it is important to be conscious about why I am doing exercise. Don't exercise because you hate your body and you're overweight, or because what's going on with the lockdown, and you use excuses like, no, the gym is closed, or I cannot afford a gym or something. Is do exercise because you love your body, not because you hate your body. So from that mentality, everything is going to change. And also, listen to your body with the right exercise for you, because we also have this misinformation or misunderstanding about like going to the gym and spending hours in the gym. You're going to have like a beautiful shape and beautiful body, but maybe the exercise they are trying to sell you by lifting weights or maybe by doing something else is not the right exercise for you. So always pay attention to your body, pay attention to every single changes, pay attention to your skin, pay attention to your fingers, pay attention to everything, because probably the exercise that you think that is good for you is stressing your body inside. So same thing, if you see your neighbor like running or walking or doing something else, don't pay attention to your neighbor, just pay attention to yourself. What feels good, what it feels good, what it feels right, what it feels good in your heart, in your mind. So it's going to be good for you, not for your neighbor, not for anybody else, but just for yourself.
Yes, exactly. It's more about going inside. That's the idea. That's the big message that we are receiving. That's the opportunity that we are having right now with this state. And it is not about also self pity or punishing yourself about anything. It's just being compassionate with the things that you are feeling, accepting that you are feeling anxious, accepting that you might be desperate sometimes. But recognizing the feeling is going to make you more empowered, because you are going to see, okay, I feel anxious because there's been months that I don't go out and have a dinner with someone, or because I am not in the rituals or in the routines that usually I used to perform. And it is hard for our bodies and for our minds to adapt to this new state that was bring very quickly or suddenly or abruptly in our lives. So it is completely normal. Don't punish yourself. Accept the emotions, but question them. Always question the emotion. Always go behind the emotion. And then you will access more your body functions, which are the nutrition, which are the cravings, which are the exercise, which are the simple tools. And one what we that we didn't mention, and it is very, very important right now, is sleep. What is happening with the sleep? A lot of people are suffering right now from disruptive sleep patterns. They are not sleeping well, or they are not resting enough because they are stressed, because they are anxious, because they go to bed after watching an episode of Netflix that is going to make you trigger your emotions, probably, or the news, which is worse. So start being conscious also of the information that you consume, because the information that you consume is going to make you change the profile in your substances, the screens, all of the blue light that comes from these kinds of screens, from the phone, from the tablets, from the computers, from all of the time that you are now interacting with a computer because you are in your house working, or because your children are in constant contact with the computers, with the tablets, with everything, they are absorbing that light, and that light is permeating your cells and absorbing it by the adipocytes, because it is absorbed by that, and they are building up those levels, and they lower the melatonin levels, which is the hormone that you are supposed to release in the afternoon and when you are approaching the night time. So instead of being engaged also in toxic patterns of information, working late at night or close to the time that you have to go to sleep, detach from the screens, read a book, do something that keeps you in a state of unwinding your emotions, unwinding your body, and trying to relax, trying to get into a state where you feel more calm and where you can lower the hamster wheel that is inside of your head, the train of thoughts that you are having. So start doing something, whatever you like, whatever it adjusts for you. That can be meditation, that can be journaling, that can be a short walk outside, that can be um, listening to music, or just being in silence. That's it. Any of those strategies can work for you and will lower many of the substances that you have been raising throughout the day, and start balancing the hormones that you need to release to go to sleep and to have a better sleep pattern. And don't obsess with sleeping well also, because the more you think I can't sleep, I can't sleep, I can't sleep, the less you are going to sleep better. So it's just relax, count. Something that works for me and that I would like to share with you is concentrating in something relaxing, remembering a moment in your life, whatever moment it is, that makes you feel well, that brings you memories of peace, of happiness and gratitude. That's it. That's what you can do before you go to bed.
And also, it's important to mention this. Always ask yourself this question: how do I feel today? I think that you need to be very honest to yourself. If you feel sad, so pay attention of what you're eating. If you're feeling sad, what are you gonna eat? If you're feeling happy, pay attention of your food, pay attention of your exercise, pay attention to little things around you. So all these little things are gonna help you to help yourself, to be the doctor, that you need, not the doctor that you need from outside. Just you are your healer, you are your doctor. So just little things and baby steps that gonna help you to have a better life, a better lifestyle, a happiness. Just with these little things. Drink water. When you are craving any sugar or anything, just drink water before, a glass of water before. Always ask this question to yourself: how do I feel today? If I feel angry, can you imagine if you feel angry and you are cooking? So you are chopping the onions and all the veggies and everything, and you are angry. So that energy of being angry, you're gonna put that energy in your food, and then you're gonna eat your food and then you're complaining about like tummy issues, tummy aches, and gastrointestinal things. You go to the doctor, you pay big amount of money, and they are not going to solve the issue. And probably the issue is in your emotions, because everything is connected: primary food and secondary food, your emotions, your food. So just little things. Ask this question: how do I feel today? And everything that you do, don't do it because you hate your life or your the situation or anything. Is because you love yourself. Because you love yourself, it's time to open your eyes, to be more conscious, to be aware of what's going on within you. And once you open this consciousness within you, you're going to reflect it outside.
Yes. And one final thought to wrap up the topic of COVID-19 and the nutrition and exercise and metabolism. And this is an idea that just came up right now because Mia had a pen in her hand. And that reminds me of something that you can do and that can be very empowering for you. Why don't you keep a diary of your attitudes, your behaviors, your emotions during this time? If we are given this year, if we are going to be like this, probably up to December, why don't you make the most out of it and you create your own journal of health? Why don't you open up a new notebook and start dividing it into the 5 pillars that we are going to review throughout this journey of cultivating a new generation, and start recording everything that happens with you? By the time this year finishes, you are going to know yourself a lot more than you began on January. And that is going to help you very, very much because it's your experience. No one else's. It's not mine. It's not Mia's. It's not anything that is being recorded in research or in samples. Is your own diary, is your own information. Information is power now, and we are seeing it every day. So I hope that you have taken all of these insights, all of these practical steps, all of these advices that we are trying to give you with these sessions that we are going to have every Monday, and they are going to be bi-weekly. So you will listen to us in the next chapter of COVID-19 and the next 3 pillars that we are going to discuss: emotions, consciousness, and abundance. So stay tuned because it's going to be amazing, the journey that we are expecting for chapter 2. Thank you very much for your attention, and
Thank you.
you. Bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye.